Burkina Faso, land of honest men. Prehistory and colonialism. Ancient and pre-colonial history is only known in fragments due to the lack of early and consistent written sources and the limited archaeological information available. The Mossi dominant group appear to have founded their kingdoms around the 15th century CE. French colonial armies conquered and occupied the territory beginning in 1895. After the First World War, the French carved out the Upper Volta colony. In order to assure a supply of labor to the French coastal colonies, Upper Volta was dissolved in 1932 and its territory divided among the Ivory Coast, French Sudan, now Mali, and Niger. In 1960, Upper Volta becomes independent from France. The RDA declared the Republic of Upper Volta, but was overthrown in 1966 by a military coup. The country alternates between periods of military and civil rule. 1977 and 1979, new constitutions were adopted, marking the short-lived Second and Third Republics. In 1984, Upper Volta is renamed Burkina Faso. In June 1991, a new constitution marked the return to multi-party democracy and the beginning of the Fourth Republic. The Fourth Republic is marked by a reorientation to the West. In 1999, there were general strikes over economic grievances and alleged human rights violations. In 2008, there's a two-day general strike following weeks of protest about high living costs and call for wage increases. In 2009, the parliament passes a law requiring at least 30% of candidates put forward for election by political parties be women, and in 2011, thousands of people protest over food prices. Burkina Faso was renamed on August 4, 1984, using a word from each of the country's two major native languages, Moor and Diola. Burkina, Moor, means men of integrity. Faso, Diola, means fatherland. Burkina Faso is meant to be understood as land of upright people or land of honest people. Inhabitants of Burkina Faso are known as Burkinabe. Burkina Faso is a multi-ethnic nation with about 60 ethnic and linguistic groups. Burkina Faso is culturally fractionalized, meaning it is ranked number 40 out of 196 countries in the world for ethnic and cultural diversity. The country is roughly divided into two parts, each with different historical backgrounds and political cultures. The eastern and central regions were historically dominated by kingdoms, like the dominant Mossi at the center or the Tuareg in the north. The western and southern regions contained a number of ethnic groups, which were much less politically centralized. There is great linguistic and ethnic diversity among Burkina's inhabitants. French, the language of the former colonizing power, is the official language. It is used in schools, the army, the media, and by people who attend school if they are not from the same ethnic group. Widespread vernacular languages include Moor in the center of the country and Diola in the west. There are also several other minority groups that have their own languages as well. These photos are examples of the different ethnic groups that call Burkina Faso home. Social stratification statistics. The majority of the population is under 20 years old. Only 21.8% of the population is literate. The UN rates Burkina Faso as the world's third poorest country. Population grows by 3.1% per year, one of the highest rates in the world. There's only one internet service provider in the country. The education expenditure is 4.2% of the GDP, and there's a high risk for food or waterborne diseases. The following demographic statistics are from the CIA World Factbook. Land scarcity for agriculture is a major source of internal conflict for Burkina Faso. There's continuing conflicts between Fulani herders and Mossi farmers for arable land as it runs out. This is causing the displacement of many people due to their violent conflicts. It's also causing external issues because Mossi farmers and herders are crossing borders into neighboring states in order to find land that is usable. The rainy season is very short and it only lasts from May or June to October. Notice that there are only three main waterways available: the black volta, the red volta, and the white volta. You will notice that the map on the right depicts the type of agriculture that the land is used for, which directly correlates to the amount of water available. The CIA World Factbook lists only 300 square kilometers of land being irrigated. That equals only 5% of agriculture land that is watered by artificial means. If you will notice inside the black barrier, mining operations are located in the same areas that are suitable for cotton growth. Unfortunately, these tend to be close to a water source. In an attempt to improve the economy, Burkina Faso has been working to increase its mineral production. Mining operations destroy the land, preventing any future agriculture endeavors. These endeavors might include subsistence agriculture such as cattle or crops. It also prevents the growing of any of the other agricultural export items which could help boost the country's economic position. According to 2009 estimates, 46.7% were living below the poverty line, and the unemployment rate was 77% in 2004. 90% of the labor force of Burkina Faso is involved with agriculture, which means accounts for 33 to 39% of the gross domestic product and only leaves 10% to industry and services. With so many individuals working in agriculture, there are not many left to attend to the construction of better roadways. However, Burkina Faso's greatest value lies in its labor force. As far as infrastructure, Burkina Faso only has 1,600 kilometers or 994 miles of paved roads which run between main towns. Phone and internet service is available, but utility costs are very high. Possible solutions to conflicts. The key is prevention and education. Most conflicts arise out of misunderstanding on both sides of land regulations and rules that protect both agriculture land and transhumans paths. Special courts could be set up to manage tensions over natural resources, to clear outstanding cases, and that corps of special offices be set up in each municipality to map sites, monitor livestock trails, and prevent and settle conflicts. Workshops could be set up where land regulation is discussed and why it is important to protect nomadic paths and how both farmers and pastoralists or agro-pastoralists can work together to sustainably use natural resources.